Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Aaron.
Aaron is back. Welcome back, everybody, for more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. Okay, guys, the Scientology showdown in Clearwater, Florida is heating up. This is a war being waged by the Church of Scientology against the city of Clearwater. And the latest casualty is Clearwater City Attorney David Margolis, who, by the way, has been an unbelievably fantastic and competent attorney for the city of Clearwater and has held his ground and been firm in pushing back against Scientology's efforts to force the city of Clearwater to hand over a public street to Scientology so that they can shut it down, make it private, and make it basically, what is it when you go into a place? A valet. Basically, Scientology wants to shut down this public street, one of the main arteries into downtown Clearwater, so they can shut it down, privatize it, and turn it into a valet drop-off street for their future L. Ron Hubbard Hall, which they are planning to build right in the heart of downtown Clearwater. The soap opera surrounding all of this is absolutely incredible. 2 days ago, I reported that the city attorney had suddenly turned in his resignation. And then when Sunday rolled around and it wasn't reported in the local press, I was like, ruh-roh. But today it was finally reported. So we're going to enter, in this video, we're going to enter this subject by looking at what has been reported in the Tampa Bay Times on this subject. So let's jump right in. Clearwater City Attorney David Margolis submits resignation letter. Margolis's resignation comes amid a legal dispute between the city, Church of Scientology, and the Florida Attorney General. There's Mr. Margolis. Okay, Clearwater's top attorney said he intends to leave the post after 4 years. City Attorney David Margolis sent a resignation letter to the City Council Friday saying his final day of employment will be April 13th. This is really good news, guys. This is really good news because that means there is a possibility that Margolis will continue to be on the job while this war with Scientology over this street is hopefully won. We'll see. I don't want to get my hopes up, but let's just keep looking at this. His announced departure comes amid a legal dispute with the state attorney general over a proposed land transaction between the city of Clearwater and Scientology. Quote, I look forward to finishing strong and celebrating the appointment of my successor, Margolis wrote in his resignation letter. I will always be grateful to our prior and current elected officials for trusting me with this role on the first day of service and every day since. Although Margolis' resignation does not mention Scientology or the state attorney general, a dispute between the city of Clearwater and Scientology over who owns a portion of downtown roadway has spilled over into acrimony in recent weeks. Margolis has played a central role. Scientology wants part of South Garden Avenue for a long-planned event hall downtown. This roadway is a public street, but a lawyer for Scientology and the Florida Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, have disputed the city's title to the land. Uthmeyer first stepped into the debate in May. He cautioned Mayor Bruce Rector of a potentially discriminatory stance against Scientology. The Attorney General said he learned the city may make the sale of the street conditional on Scientology making use of many other downtown properties that it or its affiliates own. And at the request of a Clearwater City Council member, earlier this month, Uthmeyer said he believes Scientology already owns the street and should not have to pay fair market value for it. David Margolis said in a memorandum that the city of Clearwater does own the street and has the legal right to attach conditions to the sale. Recently, he has said on the Dias, it is unusual for a state attorney general to get involved in hyper-local debates. A quick comment before I finish reading the article. Shockingly, in my opinion, Clearwater, Florida City Council member David Albritton said in an open meeting that he honestly just didn't really trust or believe the opinion of David Margolis, the Clearwater City attorney in this matter. And an elected representative of the city of Clearwater, David Albritton, basically said, but Scientology and their lawyer are saying one thing, and the lawyer who works for the city is saying another thing. how could I possibly know which one which one of these opinions is correct? And what blew my mind is that this Clearwater City Council member seemed to be willingly or intentionally oblivious to the fact that it's like, yeah, but the lawyer for Scientology is obviously advocating for Scientology's position is being paid to do so. The lawyer working for the city of Clearwater is advocating for the position of the city of Clearwater and its people and the city council. It's not just a he said, she said. One lawyer is working for the people. The other lawyer is working for David Miscavige. These two opinions don't carry equal weight. And David Albritton is just like, oh my, what's a boy to do? And instead of David Albritton consulting the opinion of an attorney who is an expert in this field, it could have been any attorney, it could have been any private attorney, anyone not being paid by Scientology. Instead, he consults the opinion of the Florida Attorney General, who has accepted almost $2 million of money through his political action committees from one of Scientology's wealthiest members. So of course, David Albritton went and asked for an opinion of someone who's been being publicly lobbied hard by Scientology. This is a total setup, you guys. This is a total setup. And David Albritton was even forced to admit that he consulted with Scientology before sending his letter to the Florida Attorney General. Okay, let's keep going. Margolis said in a memorandum that the city of Clearwater does own the street and does have a legal right to attach conditions to the sale. Recently, he has said on the dais that it is unusual for the state attorney general to get involved in hyper-local debates. Quote, the attorney general has always had the right upon request of any elected official to give those opinions. It's just that candidly, before our current attorney general, it never happened. The city council unanimously chose Margolis for the position in 2021. He succeeded former city attorney Pam Aiken, who had held the role for 27 years. Margolis said he plans to work full-time until February 10th. Then lead assistant city attorney Owen Kohler would become acting city attorney. He said he plans to use accrued leave for vacation, but may work select days and help with emergencies if needed until April. Margolis said that city law limits the appointment of an acting city attorney to 60 days maximum. After his final day, the city council must reach a supermajority to fill his position. Prior to moving to Clearwater, Margolis was the chief assistant city attorney of Orlando. Colby Edmonds reporting for the Tampa Bay Times. Okay, very nice article. Guys, I want to introduce you to a website of the organization called Save the Garden. This is an organization that was created to push back against Scientology's efforts to force the city of Clearwater to give it this street. Save the Garden refers to Save Garden Avenue, and it is run by a local community activist, to say the least, named Brooks Gibbs. And one of the reasons I want to show you this website is because one of the things that Brooks's organization is trying to do is it's actually trying to change the law here in Clearwater, Florida, that the city council, it is not simply up to 5 city council members, or I should say 3 city council members, to decide whether to sell streets, that any request to vacate an easement or sell a street actually has to be approved. Actually, it's a past referendum at the ballot box as approved by the people of Clearwater. And his organization has been working diligently to collect all the signatures needed on a petition. These petitions cannot be signed electronically. They have to be signed in person. The website address here is savethegarden.org. If you are a resident of the city of Clearwater and you have not yet signed the petition, please go to savethegarden.org, click here to find locations to sign the petition, and go and sign the petition. I also want to share with you the website, the YouTube channel that was created for this movement, Save the Garden. Please consider subscribing to that channel. And I now want to share with you the most recent video that Brooks published addressing what has been happening. Here it is.
Hi there, I'm Brooks Gibbs, a Clearwater resident with an update on our Save the Garden initiative. One reason Save the Garden exists is to stop private organizations such as Scientology from taking our streets downtown without voter approval. We believe the people, not city council, should decide whether to give these streets up. City council members can be easily influenced through coercive tactics like lobbying. Lobbying is the attempt to influence government officials on policy decisions. It's not illegal unless illegal tactics are used, but those can be hard to detect and uncover. Still, following the money often exposes the truth. For instance, 2 political action committees that were chaired by James Uthmeyer, remember that name because he's now the Florida Attorney General, well, they received $1.8 million in 2024 from a Pinellas billionaire Scientology parishioner. One of the likely reasons for these political donations is to benefit Scientology in future legal battles, which brings us to the current fight over South Garden Avenue, the street we are trying to save. This week, it was revealed that Scientology has been lobbying City Councilman David Albritton, prompting him to seek advice from Florida Attorney General Uthmeyer.
Is this the letter that you sent?
Looks like it, yes.
Could you please advise whether the city owns the section of Garden Avenue in question, or if it is a platted right-of-way that the applicant can petition to vacate without paying fair market value? I don't know that it's within the Attorney General's purview to settle property disputes between 2 property owners. Did you collaborate with the city attorney or the city manager to generate this letter?
No, but I just want to make sure that we're not discriminating against anyone and that I'm following Florida law.
Seeking an Attorney General opinion is something that we should do collectively, in my opinion.
I agree that maybe we should have talked about it at a work session, but each one of us has the right to get an opinion of the Attorney General.
Now that is Ryan Cotton, the city council member who is eager to give Scientology the street, and he's defending David Albritton, who happens to be his father-in-law, a major conflict of interest in our opinion. Despite Ryan's efforts, our mayor held firm.
Did anyone from Scientology, a representative from Scientology, ask you to write this letter?
I met with Scientology,
What a pregnant pause there, huh?
but they didn't specifically ask me to write the letter.
We're completely unreal.
Yes, I did, Mayor. I don't know what
What are you doing here? We're trying to just like get into the very nitty gritty here. It literally says his name on it. All of ours is omitted. He is an officer of the city of Clearwater. There's nothing else wrong there. This is crazy what you're trying to do here.
You just
Should be ashamed.
I wrote that myself. It didn't get written by anybody else, and it's none of your business.
whether or not you were lobbied to write this.
No, I wasn't lobbied to do it. I'm asking the Attorney General for an opinion for me.
The mayor's frustration came from the fact that David Albritton acted alone. Instead of seeking the guidance of the full city council and the city attorney, he sent a letter that effectively invited the highest legal authority in the state to exert pressure on our local government.
They're being lobbied hard by Scientology to give an opinion that they want. And I like the Attorney General, but I don't know how he can be unbiased with the lobbying that they have already done.
Vice Mayor Lena Teixeira did not like that letter.
When I learned about it, I got to be honest, I was taken aback, because in my view, it's like knocking on the same door that we all agreed to shut.
Councilman Mike Menino did not like that letter either.
I had no idea it was being thought of or was written until after the fact. I was not supportive of that direction.
Only the son-in-law, Councilman Ryan Cotton, loved that letter, and he used the moment to rebuke the mayor in defense of his father-in-law.
I will have to say that it's disappointing and it is distasteful with the way that you just handled that, Mr. Mayor. That is, like, to call him out the way you did is his lack of leadership.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's very disappointing that one of our colleagues would go around the four of us.
And that was exactly the mayor's concern. If you want to write the Attorney General, talk to the council first. Every government official, especially city council, is vulnerable to Scientology's manipulative lobbying practices. And there are far wiser ways to get legal clarity on city matters.
So what do you speak plainly? What are you trying to get at here? This is ridiculous.
Well, this is ridiculous.
But the way you're handling it is
we
absolutely
do this
ridiculous
one
for a
off.
mayor.
We do this one off. We try to hide it from one another. And that's because it
He didn't hide it. He sent it to us. We all found out on Monday.
You didn't. We didn't talk about it with the city attorney, right?
No,
you
I
not?
didn't, because I didn't need to talk about it with the city attorney. I felt like I needed to ask the question myself. Uthmeyer is in it because he sent a letter to us about this. So that's why I'm asking for his opinion.
And he was lobbied by the property owner.
I don't know.
It's
I don't
Bold
know why.
accusation.
Now do you see why we must take away the city council's power to sell or give away public streets downtown and place that power directly into the hands of the citizens? Sign the petition in person and help us change the law so that voter approval is required for any vacation of public right-of-way downtown. Let's get this law changed now. Visit savethegarden.org to find your nearest petition station.
I hope you all enjoyed the show. This is ridiculous.
God, Ryan Cotton is such a detestable individual. It's unbelievable. There's more I want to say about this, but I'm going to save it for a later time. Let's take a look at the starred comments and we'll wrap up this video. Joe Cooter, this would be a great topic to focus Target 2 on. Clearwater citizens need to know what's going on, and Target 2 is a great spot for that. Sidetracked searching 1950. The arrogance is off the charts. Jesse Kane, was the street there before Scientology came to town? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Irish Mania, the Save the Garden group needs to be prepared to file an immediate lawsuit seeking injunctive relief to stop the title transfer while the case plays out. Once the title is transferred, reversal is harder. Northern Girl, do you think Scientology will pull their fight for the street until after there is a new city lawyer in place? Yes. I mean, I think Scientology will do everything they can. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think Scientology has actually reintroduced their, they have not yet resubmitted their request to the city to vacate the street. And I do think they will wait. They will try to wait out the rest of David Margolis's term. The thing is, though, for as much as the behind-the-scenes maneuvering that is on display in videos such as the one I'm doing right now, there is still a limit to Scientology's ability to control things behind the scenes. And I do not believe Scientology has as much of an ability to impact the selection of the next city attorney as many may believe Scientology has. And I also find it hard to believe that David Albritton and Ryan Cotton and Michael Menino, 3 of the 5 city council members, who all seem to be on Scientology's side at this point, I find it hard to believe that for them, the major issue they're going to go with in the selection of a city attorney is whether that city attorney is going to be in favor of giving a street to Scientology. I don't know, guys. Look, I tend to be very unjustifiably optimistic about some of these things. But there's only so much influence Scientology has. I do not think David Albritton is getting a quid pro quo from Scientology, but I do think that Ryan Cotton is, and I do think that Michael Menino is, because I do not see any other plausible explanation for the strong emotion and anger that these guys show when it looks like things aren't going David Miscavige's way. I believe David Albritton is a little more of a useful idiot to Scientology. I don't believe he's taking money from Scientology. All right, let's keep going. Jesse Kane, they will try to take underhandedly. Aline Levin, is this the same case from a couple of months ago? I mean, it's the same subject. Ben Bacon Bits, I do have to say that I do find entertainment in Ryan Cotton's temper tantrums, though. Northern Girl, as if he had to look at the damn letter to know if he sent it, or how many others did he send? Benson, I hope Brooks is on TikTok because it can get so much more exposure. Constance says, I wonder if his son-in-law, Ryan Cotton, put him up to it. Jojo, I think the awful cult will keep trying until they get their way. I would like to know, when is a no a no? That, I mean, one thing Scientology is good at is playing the long game. One thing David Miscavige is good at is playing the long game. And yeah, when is a no on this actually a no? That's a good question, and I don't know the answer. Itchy Thetans, Brooks video slays. Constance, Ryan Cotton's interview with the news he did a few months ago was very telling. He said something like he hoped Scientology would stick to their end of the bargain and fix the empty buildings. Bodes Beaches, they never take no for an answer for anything, and they keep it up until they get their way. It sucks. Constance says, I suspect Ryan Cotton is waiting to run for higher office and needs Scientology backers. Yes. So, you know, there is a whole faction of the county and state Republican Party that has decided they're willing to take Trish Duggan's money to do Scientology's bidding. It's actually created a bit of a divide in the county and the state Republican Party. Those not willing to take Trish Duggan's money to do Scientology's bidding, and those who are willing. Unfortunately, the Latvala family, Chris Latvala, his father's Jim Latvala. The Latvalas are very much on Scientology's side. The Latvalas have an awful lot of influence in the county and state Republican Party. Chris Latvala used to be a state representative, in the state house. He is now on the Pinellas County Board of Commissioners. Chris Latvala's wife is going to be running for one of the open seats in the Clearwater City Council. Ryan Cotton and David Albritton are very much in with the Latvalas, as I guess Michael Menino is. I didn't quite think that he was, but I guess he is. Anyway, Trish Duggan's money is completely corrupting the city, county, and state Republicans with respect to their willingness to forward Scientology's agenda. There is a guy named, oh my God, I'm going to go blank on his name, aren't I? Oh my God, I'm going to go totally blank on his name. So two of the most popular and effective and well-connected Republican lobbyists are and have been quite literally on Scientology's payroll. So this is what happens. I mean, this is the influence of money in politics. There aren't very many Scientologists in Clearwater and Tampa Bay. There's maybe 3,000 Scientologists in all of Clearwater. There's over 120,000 citizens. But because of Scientology's money, because of their money being spent on lobbying, they are very slowly and currently getting their way in Clearwater. And it's unfortunate, but it is the reality. So a reminder, if you live in Clearwater, if you are a citizen of Clearwater, please go to the website savethegarden.org. Look up a location where you can go and sign the petition, and go and sign the petition. And let's help change the law so that these corrupt and influenced elected Clearwater, Florida officials do not have the power to simply give or sell streets to Scientology whenever David Miscavige requests so. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me. Stay tuned. Much more to come later today, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe